The list of powerful men in media accused of sexual misconduct grew longer today. 5 female comedians and performers coming forward to the New York Times with allegations about the comedian Louis C.K., several of them saying Louis C.K. touched himself without their consent during interactions with them. It is an ironic turn for an entertainer who based much of his career on joking about sexual issues, as he did in this HBO special.
My problem. These days, my problem is very simple. It's trying to find a place in my house where I can masturbate without somebody bothering me.
A rep for Louis C.K. told ABC News that he will be issuing a statement in the coming days. Another tumbling domino rippling through Hollywood as more women and men say they will no longer stay silent about their experiences of sexual assault and sexual harassment.
It's not so much about, are any of the allegations not true? I believe the really haunting question is, what if all of them are true?
Filmmaker Tony Montana says he has, unfortunately, had a front row seat to this sea change in the entertainment industry.
I heard about Harvey and Gwyneth and the bathrobe at the Peninsula, etc. I hadn't heard about incidents involving Kevin until it happened to me.
One winter night in 2003, Montana says he was hanging out at a bar in Los Angeles when he suddenly found himself face to face with the actor Kevin Spacey.
Kevin approached me. I smiled. He leaned in. His right arm was around my shoulder, and he put his hand underneath the bar. And that's when he grabbed me. And he grabbed me very hard. And I've never been groped before. And he looked at me, and he's in a very sobering voice, and this sardonic look in his face said, "This designates ownership."
Montana had trained as a boxer and mixed martial arts fighter, but says he froze in the moment of what he says was assault by Spacey.
He's not a big guy, but he was a person with power, and his power at that moment rendered me helpless.
He says he eventually bent Spacey's thumb back and then took refuge in the bathroom, only to find Spacey had followed him in.
I have to literally put my thumbs underneath his armpits and back him away from me.
Montana says he found the courage to tell his story last month after the actor Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of making unwanted advances in 1986 when Rapp was just 14 years old.
I needed to get this out of me. I needed to get this off of me.
Montana is one of 14 men who've come forward in the past 2 weeks claiming Spacey sexually assaulted or harassed them, the alleged incidents spanning nearly 30 years.
Kevin Spacey bought him drink after drink after drink. And when my son was drunk, Spacey made his move and sexually assaulted him.
Heather Unruh says the actor plied her then 18-year-old son with alcohol and then assaulted him at a crowded bar on Nantucket in 2016.
Spacey stuck his hand inside my son's pants and grabbed his genitals.
Within a very short period, he had called his mom, and his mom had called the sheriff's department on Nantucket.
Unruh hired attorney Mitchell Garabedian, who successfully represented survivors of clergy sexual abuse. He was portrayed by Stanley Tucci in the movie Spotlight.
I can't show you the church documents if that's what you're after. They're under seal.
Victims are empowering themselves by coming forward, reporting the abuse publicly. In doing so, they empower themselves, other victims, and make the world a safer place for children.
Spacey apologized to the first accuser, Anthony Rapp, over Twitter. I honestly do not remember the encounter, but if I did behave then as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology. But in the same statement, Spacey created an uproar for coming out as a gay man, tweeting, "I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man."
There's a big difference between being gay and being a sexual predator. If, in fact, he was sexual with a 14-year-old, that's a totally different thing than anything having to do with whether he's gay.
His lawyer did not respond to a request for comment from ABC News today, but has previously said that the actor is, quote, taking the time necessary to seek evaluation and treatment.
The power differential, which is often seen here for the young person, it's very hard to come forward and say something very bad about someone who is universally admired in the community, for one thing, but also admired by you, perhaps.
A long-admired leading man, Spacey is known for playing dark and deeply flawed characters, like his Oscar-winning portrayal of ad executive Lester Burnham in American Beauty.
Hi, I'm Lester, Janie's dad.
Oh, hi. This is my friend, Angela Hayes.
Okay. Good to meet you.
And President Frank Underwood in the Netflix series House of Cards, a role that has earned him 5 Emmy Award nominations.
There's no better way to overpower a trickle of doubt than with a flood of naked truth.
The industry's response to the allegations against Spacey has been swift.
In the very short time since the first person came forward, they have essentially written him out of House of Cards, and he's been cut from a film that is set to come out in December by Ridley Scott.
Spacey has been replaced by the actor Christopher Plummer in that movie, All the Money in the World.
Mr. Getty, your grandson.
Spacey's talent agency and publicist have also dropped him. His career may now be in the tank, but if the allegations are true, it's still unclear what legal ramifications he may face. For now, both Spacey and Harvey Weinstein are reportedly seeking treatment, while the movement to speak out is only growing.
What I think we're seeing is strength in numbers and a little less fear that speaking your truth will end your career.
The voices of male accusers, now a powerful part of the chorus.
It's a very courageous act to come forward and say you've been sexually victimized if you're male. And so it requires deciding that it's braver to come forward than to try to maintain a silence that probably has been eating you up for many, many years.
Montana says he sees a light on the horizon.
I'd like to think that the license to misbehave has been revoked. I'm not pursuing anything financially from Kevin. I don't wish him any ill will. This unfolding of his career, I do feel like there's some sense of justice in this.
And we'll have much more on this story first thing in the morning on GMA.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.